So, walking along the trail, little itty bitty hole down there, and this little guy is just kind of hanging out in there. And he's kind of cold, as you can tell, so he's just kind of hanging out, not even trying to run or anything. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this is horrible. This is so steep. It can't get any worse. Oh, boys and girls, it gets so much worse. Well, the trail, she's just gone. All gone. Nick is forging a new path. But it's, I like how it just goes to that ledge and then it's just gone. Yep, pretty much. Completely washed out. Whoa, hey, whoa. There you go. Instilling a lot of faith, Yar. Might be worth it to continue. This is what we call a fucked situation. Because either way, you're fucked. Oh my god, so many goddamn yuccas. These spiky bastards. They're getting us good. Should have brought shears. I'd show those guys, the sons of guns, who's boss. Well, it's not the goddamn yucca, then it's the poison oak. I think Nick just walked through a field of it. I think we'll find out later, both of us. Why does it always have to be like this? Why can't the mines be in pristine condition and close? God damn it. It's a completely different biome. Very little of that damn yucca. Beautiful conifer trees. Just a dry stream bed. Been hiking up a good ways from where we set up camp on this dry gulch here. They don't call it dry gulch for nothing. There's almost no water here, but I've come across a little portal hiding up on the rocks. I think I might check that out on the way back. Looks like a prospect. It doesn't seem to go in very far. So, it's a good sign. It's been odd that there's no... Normally you see a whole bunch of man-made stuff all down the stream. Whereas here, I haven't seen anything. We saw a couple of cans way back where we set up camp, but it's almost a mile down. Woo! So, hopefully I'll start seeing some man-made stuff soon. It's an indicator that I'm close. Well, after coming up a really long hike, I noticed an odd flat spot up here. And if you look, these are dry stacked foundations here. What have we got? Looks like an old bed. See the steel from it. So there was a cabin here at one time. Going up over here, another dry stacked wall. Oh, check this out. Ooh, spiders. It's an old bed frame. Kind of worse for wear, but you can still sort of make it out. Might have been a couch, actually. Hard to say for sure. You could see the springs and the cable that tied it all together. Here's the stream bed below. And of course, lovely poison oak. Actually, there's a lot of poison oak here. We're gonna maneuver our way through this field of it. Shit. Let's need to navigate our way through here. Looks like it's better up over here. Metal pieces everywhere. There's another cabin up over here. Ooh, what have we got over here? Perhaps some sort of retort. Yeah. It's kind of neat. So it looks like it's on its side. You'd probably hang coals under here with ore. And as it would go up, it would condense and then drip back down this side. If I had to guess. What is this? It's a pin. Maybe it'll hold it on. Yeah, it looks like some sort of retort. Yeah. Okay, come on. Come to Papa. We're gonna stand you up straight. Okay, a little bit of manhandling later, and you can kind of see how this thing would work. So you'd put, I think, hot stuff in the bottom, rise up, hit this guy and condense, come back down. This looks like a variable valve for venting, so maybe if the initial stuff you wanted to just let it vent off, you'd use this lever and then close it once it got going well. Let's see if I can push this over like that. There is a thing here, and it's upside down. We'll go around, see if we can read it. It says American Engineering Type A Pan something. Hard to read. I may have it upside down. Like, it might have been, that might be the bottom and that might be the top. It's really hard to say. Yeah, because why would they put the tag on upside down? So that looks like it might have been a drain. An interesting device. I'll have to look into this some more. Anywho, more pieces of metal, scrap, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but remains of a cabin up here. We're gonna go on inside. I've seen pictures of this for years. It's a pipe everywhere. Looks like chimney flue, oil containers. Oh, another, I think this is a sofa here. Yeah, she's a little rough looking. Head on up. Oh yeah, she's pretty, she's seen better days. Let's see. What's out here? We got an old bench. And over there looks like a old stove over there. I don't know if it's safe to climb inside this thing. Might just film from here. You can see the remains of a bed in the middle. I don't see any space for a fireplace. Might have had a kitchen over here. Bits of plumbing fittings. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty sad. Be worried about putting my foot through the floor. Screw it. You know, you only live once. There's the bed. Looks like a 2-inch elbow. Not a whole lot. I like the live timbers though. It's very neat. Kind of incredible that this is still standing here. Pretty awesome. We'll head on back outside. Because right over here, oh Jesus Christ, Poison Oak Central, there's the remains of an ore bin. I see a line shaft, and I believe there's a hit and miss engine underneath there, along with a jaw crusher, or not jaw crusher, but a ball mill, some other neat things. Okay, so making my way over, looks like a bit of a fuel tank there. It's a shame the Poison Oaks are taking this whole thing over. Yeah, there we go. So we got a shaker table here. You can see the drive wheel there. I dig it out, but this stuff is all... This is just asking to get a rash real good. Check this out. Old line shaft with grease cups. You can still see the screens on the ball mill. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty of what we got going on here. So they got these upper shafts up here. I'm guessing they were using them to run shaker tables, probably in this location right here. This looks like part of one. That might be the base for this one. So that upper shaft ran these. And coming over here, I also noticed it's a little motor. So they probably had this as a generator, get a little bit of electric power up here. They had this smaller shaft coming off, and I'm not sure what they're running with this. Maybe this was just for the motor. They might have had some other things over here. Here's an up close look at the screens for this ball mill. It's unfortunately been buried by the ore bin itself. If you look over here, you can see there's the scoop. So it would rotate in this direction, and it would scoop up ore from there. It would get in the center section here and get sort of beat to hell by balls or roller bearings. And then once it reached a size that was small enough to go through the screen, it would come down. There was likely a sort of a funnel or a pipe, and then it would go to the shaker tables to be agitated and vibrated. So this is a pretty fine screen here. I mean, so it would have been coming out almost like a sand, and then that would separate the gold from the host rock. Coming around over here carefully for all the poison oak, we've got another big wheel. And this was driving something else as well. I wonder if this rotates now. She's pretty well seized in there, unfortunately. We can get an upper view of the mill here, and you can see the grizzlies. They're sort of screens, actually, more so than grizzlies. Now, other pictures I've seen show a hit and miss engine down in here, and that was running everything, but I'm not seeing it. It's probably pretty well buried if it's in there. All sorts of stuff here. It's interesting that they have that little alternator there. They probably ran it off of this little shaft here. On this real quick, coming down to meet Nick. It's an old refrigerator. And then you can see the leg from it. Oh, and there's something else over here. Maybe a motor housing for the compressor for that fridge. I think I may have gone a little too far up. Nick seems to be at something else that's down here. That was about a quarter mile above. Let's see what he found. Okay, so I've come back down the gulch. I've met up with my compatriot, thankfully. Apparently I missed this, which is something to miss. This is an old cement mixer, and you can see, so it looks like the drum would spin around that point right there, and then you could use this guy. Oh no, this wheel would spin, which would spin the drum, and it would spin that way, and then you could tilt the whole drum up and down using the whole thing as a lever. And it's a neat old cart. Oh, I see a maker's plate. What does it say? It says Wonder Construction Machinery, or built by Construction Machinery, Waterloo, Iowa, size 3. Huh. So maybe it holds 3 cubic yards. I don't know. It's pretty neat. It's she's pretty beat to hell. Had a good thumping. Looks like whoever was mixing cement or concrete in there, could have been even mortar, forgot to clear it out because that stuff's pretty well seized up. But that's pretty neat. Hey, I don't see one of these every day. Yeah, I don't see you every day. I rarely see you, but when I see you, we have a great time. We always go on these adventures. Okay, so a little ways up from the cement mixer, which is, you could barely make it out down there, is one of the mill sites. So I foolishly got excited and ran ahead to the other mill site, but this is the lower mill site here. There's a neat old wheelbarrow, not super old. And there's a sort of loading bucket there, sort of off of like an excavator. This looks like, I don't know, maybe a classifier or something, or a shake table. It's got a little funnel on the end, and then it's got these sort of grates on the on this end here. So if stuff slid down, if it was big enough or small enough, fall through there and then out. Might have been a classifier. We got a footing for what was likely an engine, and oh, she's in sorry shape, all collapsed. But I believe this was an ore bin. There's probably a jaw crusher and some line shafts driving it. Let's come on up here, see what else we got. You can see the metal lining from the ore bin. Oil drum. Fortunately, not a whole lot left of this guy. I wonder if they decided, since they had more workings farther up, that they would just abandon this guy and move it up, or yeah, because I mean, they got almost the exact same setup farther up. So looks like there was either another building here or that was a deck. And this building, she's leaning a little bit. Let's head on in, see what we got. An aluminum plate. Yeah, aluminum plate. And the floor, it's a little sketchy. Let me see if I could turn on the light here. No, I got the light finally to, oh, or that works. It's kind of neat. Remains of a bed frame. I like the windows that latch, although the whole thing's racked, so this won't work. There's old water valves here, so they likely had plumbing in here. It's kind of neat. Ooh, an old sink. It's got a little soap holder, old containers and such. Check out this thing. What is that? Ooh, industrial first aid kit number 10. Johnson & Johnson. Not super old, probably from the 70s maybe. I like the stool there, or bench, with the, they just cut the timbers in half for the feet. Yeah. And then this over here, huh, this looks like a shed. Maybe this is where they had the water heater and all the plumbing, electrical stuff. Yeah, this looks like electrical here. Yeah, I don't think this guy's going to be standing much longer. See water pipes up there. So there's likely a water source farther up that was feeding this. What is this? Not sure what that is. A couple of bullet holes in it, unfortunately. Got a little loft up above. Oh, and it probably had a furnace here. You could see a hole in the roof where it used to vent. Not a furnace, but maybe a little potbelly stove. Ooh, what's that? Bishops. Huh. Gotta watch out for spiders. Huh. That's very neat. Another latch for that window there. Oh, you can see the latches. Well, not on that one. Well, it's on the sill. Yeah, there's the latch. Very neat.
Well, it's a good thing we saw this before it eventually collapses.
Yeah, I'm glad we got a chance to check it out before the end.
Yeah.
It's a little desk here. Wow. She is racked something fierce. Look at that.
There's not many miners' cabins here in the San Diego.
Wooden miners' cabins that are standing. This is one of...
Hey, look, there's a little hook.
Oh, yeah.
Crack the window.
And that's how you keep them open. Huh. That's how they do it. What are those? Maybe insulators? This would have been, originally, this would have been a really nice little cabin up here.
Yeah.
I bet it was nice and cozy.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
Yeah. Alright, so the leaning tower of cabin over there is, well, we got some good footage and pictures of the inside. But anyways, right over here, so it appears to be an air compressor. Air compressor or refrigerant compressor, one or the other. I think it might be refrigerant based off of the lines and whatnot. This looks like a heat exchanger. And for an air compressor, that's a massive heat exchanger. So I believe this was a refrigerant unit, maybe for, well, a refrigerator. I don't think they had air conditioning up here. Not that you'd even need it. It's pretty nice up here. So, oh, also an old rake. This looks like an oven door. Over here, you can see the latch. Oh, that's actually a nifty latch. Yeah. State of the art, baby. A little bit of rail, some stuff welded to it. Not sure what they were using that for. All sorts of interesting things around here. I see a pipe and wood and all sorts of stuff. There's cables everywhere. Hard to say what they had set up. There's a road continuing up there. Have you tried going up that yet, Nick?
That's where we're going to next.
So down below the deck here, a couple of various items. It looks like a couple of buckets, an old canteen, lawn chair. It's various stuff. There's a pot of gold honey can there. And we know because there's another one up here. It's a little flatter. Oh, this is steep. Yeah, why can't they do this shit in level ground?
There's nothing like this in Canada, man.
Yeah. Pot of gold, pure honey. Little squished. Still cool. So you can barely make it out, but there's the old mill site down there, the one they abandoned. And we're around where tunnel number 10 should be, although not much of a sign of it anymore. It's probably around here. You can see a tie, a bit of rail, some other things around here. So, oh, maybe it was here. This looks like a collapsed, maybe collar or portal here. Here we see Nick enjoying the company of yuccas. Super steep mountainous terrain. Oh, he's going for it! Hey! Oh, that was actually pretty impressive. It's pretty steep there. There's a metal thing up there and a cable, so I'm gonna climb up there. And we're looking for, there should be a shaft and a couple of other adits. There's 11 adits to the Baldora Woodco, I think including the shaft, around here. Unfortunately, let's see, 9, 10, 8, and number 2 have all been, no, one of them's been open, number 2, but that's more of a prospect. The rest of them have all been kind of non-passable so far as getting in. They've all been collapsed. Well, I'll be damned. Turns out it's a little hit and miss engine. Way up here. There's the 2 wheels and the crank. You can see the boiler and the main body. What the heck is it doing here? Must have come down from way up above. Huh. Kind of an odd location for it. Let's see if we can find out perhaps a manufacturer or something. Alright, here's the push rod for it. Yeah, there's the rocker arm that would have pushed the valve in. I don't see the head on it. Let me sort through this stuff and okay, so update. the tree has grown into this flywheel, or this pair of flywheels and crank. So this guy is not moving. Tried to lift it. That's how hernias are born. I got the top part up. And so somebody was definitely disassembling this and trying to move it out of here. You can see they tried to separate the head from sort of the crank body. There's the drive gear / governor. You can see the weights on it and the spring. And that would have been driven off of the gear there on the crank. And as it slows down, it would push on this rod, and that would allow fuel into the cylinder to be fired. But it is missing the head. It's missing a whole bunch of parts. If this is sitting here like this, and it's probably buried somewhere under here, it's kind of a shame. There's little bits of metal over there. So yeah, I guess we'll never know for sure. Okay, so we're looking for a mine shaft, actually, and we think it's right around the corner here past, oh, actually that might be it under that tree there. I see something dark.
Yeah, I think it's lodging there.
But anywho, we noticed this tree here's got these boards in it, and I think this was a workbench, because look at all the nails that are nailed in it. And around the corner here, there's still a tool hanging off of one of the nails that we found. You pull it off, it says, come on, focus. It's a 10-inch made by Crescent Tool Company, Jamestown, New York, USA. And this is an old crescent wrench. It's been sent out here a long time to be pitted like that. So there was likely a sort of table coming off of this all around here. And they had tools hung off of all these nails. The rest of them have likely been stolen or taken, but that one blended in with the bark and was on the backside, so it stood the test of time. We're going to leave it there for the next 100 years. I believe, wow, that looks like a portal there. Let's come around here and see if we can. Oh, mama, she's steep. And the yucca's not allowing me to get as close as I'd like. Oh, wow. But that's a bit of rail. It's pretty collapsed. Yeah, nicks up above there, but it doesn't seem like it goes anywhere. Okay, the misery continues. So way down there is tunnel number 8, and that's the one that had the little trestle that's collapsed. Well, the trestle's collapsed and the portal's collapsed. Then above that, maybe 50 feet or so, maybe 75 feet, is tunnel number 7, and that's the one that was near that workbench, also collapsed, unfortunately. And up here, sort of a cut from the very top, is this pit, which was probably a shaft originally that was coming down from above, and they all cut underneath into it. But of course, as you can see, it's pretty well filled. A lot of schist and quartz around here, sort of like a sandwich, a schist sandwich.
That's a good way to put it.
I told the guy to eat a schist sandwich once. Oh, that's a different kind of schist sandwich. Anywho, but you can kind of see the way the schist's on one side, schist's on the other side, and then a quartz stringer running down the middle. So kind of neat. We got a little higher to go, and then we get to finally start heading down and back to camp. So we're hoping this cable up from the top leads to tunnel number 6. Nick's looking over and into the shaft, or the pit there. The cable continues down here, some boards off of it. There's another cable coming off of this other tree, and you can kind of see through the brush there the 2 legs off of an Orban, or what's left of it there. And so that's why this cable's so taut. It's holding that sucker up. There's a whole bunch of cables. So they basically just sort of strapped, yeah, there's the Orban. They just sort of strapped this whole thing to the side of the mountain here, keep it from falling down. One Orban. Another one you could kind of see down in the bushes. open cut over here where Nick's standing. And cables galore to try and hold this all up on the mountainside. I like the way they wrapped it around those two posts. Yeah. So we're below the upper ore bin, and Nick's making his way over to the cable, and we're going to use that to sort of shim-dimmy our way on down to the second ore bin down there, which is where a tram supposedly starts. That'll take us down into the mill site down below. I don't know if the phone's picking this up, but it is very steep here. And we're worried that it might go to sheer drop once we get to the bottom of this thing. It goes into the sort of valley below. So Nick's gonna go do a good old second check in case we might have missed a tunnel. I'm standing in what's the lower ore bin. And if you look over the edge here, you can kind of see where the tram was. So I guess they'd load the tram buckets here. The little pulley down there and some cable continuing down. And that cable seems to keep going, so hopefully we can use that to make it all the way down to the valley floor. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. Oh boy, that's gonna suck. Anyways, we're below the lower ore bin here, and you can kind of get a look at how the tram system worked. It's kind of interesting. They used a automotive wheel. I don't know how well that's coming out. And they took the brake and the wheel and everything. You can see the brake bands down there. And presumably the differentials shoved in the dirt there. And so the way I think they had it was they used it as a gravity tram. And that was their brake to basically control how fast the loads went up and down. And they got a sort of side chute that they can control. So when the car would come up, or the tram bucket would come up, they'd, you know, stop the tram bucket up here, lower that chute to fill it up, and then they would allow it to go back down. Now the thing about that wheel in the middle though is it's not of a very large diameter, so I think what they did, they have these two pulleys up here. So I think they had the cable come up, go around here, then go around this maybe once or twice, because it's definitely wide enough, and then it would go over to the other side and around the other pulley and down, and that would keep the two cables far enough apart that the buckets coming up and down would actually clear each other. But it's really neat. It's a wooden spoked wheel off of an old automobile, and crazy homemade contraption here. There's cables all over the place and tensioners and stuff. It's kind of neat to see. You can see the levers down there for the brake operation. You can see the tram cable there. And we were making our way down. And look what we found. That's right, boys and girls. Let's get on in there. Bit of a squeeze. Nick grabbed my hat that I dropped. That's the end of her. Went a surprising distance. And these cave crickets are everywhere. There's one. There's one. There's a big guy. There's another guy. I mean, you can see they're just kind of hanging out all over. The tunnel's really low in this section. There's a nick for scale, and he's crouched down. He's normally a a wee bit taller than that. So, yeah, this is crazy low. Oh, check out all the... There's even more of these damn crickets. They're everywhere.
They're all over here.
Yeah. And I think this mine gets pretty damn wet because it's...
Yeah.
You could see all the little tide pools and stuff everywhere.
Yeah, but the cave pearls, they definitely is very wet.
Yeah, and I think the slight collapse, not collapse, but the way it's semi-filled at the entrance, I think that's keeping water from leaving. So it must fill up and then it slowly drains.
Where are those pools? I'm probably stepping in them.
A little farther down,
Okay.
I think. Let's see. There were some really nice looking cave pearls in some of them.
Yeah, there's another little pool right here.
There's some here. Yeah, the what's this? This is a calcite again?
Yeah. Calcium carbonate. I mean, it's technically not calcite. It's not in the white crystal structure.
But you can kind of see there's a whole bunch of,
there's
I'll swap to the other light. You can see the cave pearls. Some decent looking samples. Kind of neat.
Here, you can go in front of me. I'm taking pictures.
Oh, pardon me. Excuse moi. I mean, there's not too much more to see. It's basically just these little pools over here. This one, especially, if I can get it, this guy's got some really nice round